In this final tutorial about collisions, let's just take a moment and let's improve upon our kill box a little bit and make it a little fancier. I just want to show you guys maybe some ways of thinking about it, and you can explore your own creativity. This is just me showing you maybe one or two ways we could improve upon this. Maybe it'll show you some functions that you didn't know existed in our character. Either way, let's just take a look at how we might want to do this. To start, let's just look at our kill box again. So when I run into it, it just immediately spawns my player back. There is no feedback of anything happening. Not ideal. We don't quite want it like this. It's always good to give our players good feedback. That is part of good game design. So let's think about that. Maybe one thing we could do is not immediately kill the player. We could maybe give it a delay. So if I was to pull this out and search delay, you would see that there is no delay node inside a function. This is a downside of a function. It is done for a reason, which involves how the code actually executes at runtime. But again, let's not think about that. For us, this doesn't have a delay. That's a bad thing. And we want to use a delay in this case. So let's just go back to our event graph. We know here we can use a delay node. So instead of using this function alone, I'm going to make a custom event. And I'm going to call this respawn event. So all my respawn event is going to do is we are going to delay by maybe 1 second, and then let's respawn it. So let's compile this. And in our BP collision test, instead of when we cast to the actor, instead of running respawn, let us run respawn event. So all respawn event is going to do is delay, then call respawn. Let's run this. Slowly walk back here. You can see it delays, and then it puts us back there. Now, one thing that's again a little about this is that when I run through it, I still have my controls, so it doesn't quite give me the feedback that my player is dead or they are going to respawn, because I can still control them. So instead of just delaying and respawning, let us first pull out a new one and type in disable. So we have disable input. So we disable the input, which is a special function that this actor has, and that's just going to prevent us from moving. So let's compile this. And so now when we run through our respawn event, first it's going to stop us from moving, delay it, and then it's going to respawn us. So let's try that out. You can see it works, but now my character is just moving in the direction they're always moving. They aren't stopping. That's kind of annoying. So, okay. We can't just directly disable the input. First, we need to stop the character. So I can pull out another pin and type set velocity. I apologize, there is no set velocity, but that's okay. Let's try it a different way. We know that when we press buttons, this right input and forward input are set, so let's just zero those out instead. So when we want to respawn, we just take our forward input, set it to 0, our right input, set it to 0. Actually, I would like to disable the input first, then set their inputs to 0. Compile it. Let's go back into the level blueprint, hit play. And now when we run into our collider, our inputs get zeroed out, so our player stops, and we respawn. We have not set the input, or we've not set our input again to be enabled, so we can't move anymore. Let's do that next. And there's a node for that, the opposite disable input, enable input. So now our respawn node gives us a little bit more feedback when I run into it. First I can't move, then I respawn, and then I can move again. So that's very cool. Again, gives us a little more feedback. We could do something else, maybe after we have disabled the input, while we're waiting for that 1 second delay to complete. We could play sound 2D And we might also play particle effect. So emit, respawn, emitter, attached. So I'm going to spawn it attached to our capsule. I'm going to snap it to the target, keeping its world scale. Make sure it's auto destroy. And I'm just going to spawn the P explosion. So finally, let's compile this. Let's play it. And so it played our sound effect, it played our particle, and it respawned us. So, you know, this is just a slightly upgraded version of our respawn function. Instead of just immediately teleporting us back, we have now attached some art to it, attached some sound effect to it, given it a good amount of feedback with like a character stopping their movement, disabling their input so that the character can't move around anymore. Generally just making this function feel a little bit better. So that was all for this tutorial, and we have covered all of collisions now. Thank you guys for watching.